Welcome here to our office in the Pentonville Road in London, Master Huang. It's the most enormous privilege to be publishing 4 of your books all at once. I think each one of us has been looking forward to this for the great pleasure of meeting you in person, having worked on your books.
Well, it's my honor too to be able to be here and then now to see all 4 of them in print again. So let's just have a conversation and welcome any questions. Let me very quickly do something, just get the visual image. I think so much of this fortuitous coming together, we need to honor a very important Chinese symbol. Is the Tao, okay? Chinese symbol for Tao. Sometimes we call it the watercourse way. This wonderful stroke here, it shows almost like a boat flowing on the watercourse. In the middle, you have the energy of the universe come to this being, find your center. So the person who finds his own and her mastery and follow the way of the nature's flow. And in China, we call it the way. And so much of my teaching, my work, my books are following the way, trying to bring what I feel is my privilege as a Chinese person and upbringing to be able to come to the West, absorb the Western culture, to find a synthesis between East and West. So all my adult life has been finding that synthesis. And now we are at the time in our lives, East and West are coming together, twins are meeting, and Western people, in fact, are so much more interested in bringing the Eastern old country wisdom to balance our life here. And the Asian people come to the West, just learning all about the West. It's time for all of us to think about being global citizens, to really feel that we need all the true heritage from all cultures, and to help to jointly to create a culture that and a kind of wisdom school that really benefit all of us. And these 4 books, in a way, represent 4 different ways I can find a way to instill that what I have learned. And this book, Embrace Tiger, is my very first book, 1973. So that's been a while. And it's a book now, it's in 14, 15 languages, just out. And now this is the perennial version, finally, with Singing Dragon. And I'm very proud of it. And it's a book, I think, it gives the whole essence of my philosophy, how I bring the East to the West and find some kind of synthesis. And this one follows to create what I used to call it the beginner's Tai Chi book, the most basic. And it's essential. So this one follows. And then we did the Quantum Soup. It's more semi-biographical. All my learning of my life in the West and my mentors, my teachers, my learning in kind of a, I call it dim sum version, which is the way, and it's very profound messages, but you want to offer to be very lightly without being stuffy, and became this book. And in fact, this new edition now, we've added many new stories since the first publishing date. This is a pleasure for me, and not only visually, it's so nice. When I became a grandfather, and you re-enter into a whole, what we call childlikeness. Being childlike is very different than being childish. When you become an adult, you better not be childish, but you ought to sustain your childlikeness, a sense of wonder, which is so essential for all creative people. And what I love, I want to do, which my publisher at that time encouraged me, is to create a visual image of the lovable, and also through the brushstroke to give the spontaneity of the energy of each animal power. And then we use some mythological stories which I've known as a child, and more creatively, more of what I remember, how I conjure up the story through my elders telling the story. It's much more open, much more universal way of talking about the animal power, which open doors for every culture. People can imagine why they love this animal, what kind of energy we call qi of this individual. And you have the 12 animal coming as a cyclical every 12 months, every 12 years, every 12 hours. And they represent the power of the energy that we human beings possess. That's why we love the idea in the Orient, you're born such a year, tiger or dragon or ox and all that. So it became a project which I love to do and then made the drawings, eventually come up with the stories.